gone for the big dive. Hamilton dives out of the way.
But no, Isaac's going to do it. He comes across the line to take P1 on his debut. What an amazing race. It's the battle of the late breakers, and Elite Risk gets it.
Lovely move from Scotty.
Look, here we go, then around the outside. Oh, what a move by Eno. That is not a place you overtake.
Buddy War's not going to give us up without a good fight.
Oh dear me. Oh, and look at that. Kate Dorniak and Charlie going at it. Rampouon. In the last corner, who's going to get the better traction? Race on the better line. It's going to be a drag race to the finishing line. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Montreal, Canada for tonight's 7GR race. It's time for round 8 of season 10. And we're starting off dry by the looks of things, which is what we like to see. Let's just enable some of these. Who is out on track first? I think one of the Red Bulls was, wasn't it? It is Aiden. No, it wasn't Aiden. It was the other Red Bull of Jinx. Right, so how are things looking? As you say. So, since the last couple of races, things have started to turn on their heads. So, our current championship leader in Tier 1 is Turner in the Mercedes. And Firmsy is close behind him on 116, 3 points behind Turner. Last year's champion Ben finds himself in P3 on 83 points. He's got to get a move and he wants to try and retain that crown. Aiden, who was leading the championship until a few races ago, down in full position now. It shows what you're going when you miss a couple of races. In terms of constructors, well, Mercedes are leading both Tier 1 and the combined constructors. Haas find themselves in second in Tier 2, Red Bull in P3, and Alfa Romeo Klingon in P4. Then there's quite a big gap down to Williams in P5. Right then, to the action. I think it looks like one of the Mercedes overtook Jinx, and it was Turner. Being in good form this year, Turner. He's got his partner in crime, Ogween, back tonight, so look out for maybe a front row lockout from Mercedes tonight. They have a rule out full pair either of Jinx and Aiden. Got Blonde in the McLaren tonight after his escapades in the Mercedes last week. As you can see, got quite a few reserves in tonight. You got Zeke in. Hang on, is that rain? I can see rain coming down. It is. Oh dear, look, that is rain. That is why there's pretty much everyone on track. Apart from Zeke. I think Zeke's probably realised a bit too late here, and he's going to start in the pit lane, as Turner does do a 110.5. Very decent lap. Blonde puts himself in P2, Jinx is P3. Who sits across the line? It's going to be Kate Gorniak. What does he do? He's just starting a lap. Ogween does go on pole by half a second. Whoa. Okay, what about Benson? Is he on a fast one? I think he is. Can he get anywhere near the top? He's in a bit of wetness now, and look at that, a 111.1. So the weather started to play havoc on these drivers' tyres. What about Mash? Is he on the out lap according to the game? KA has validated he won't be going across the line. What about Adam? I think rain's impacted him. Look at that. What's he going to do? A 112.2. This could be a bit of a quiet session. if... oh, hang on. Is that Mash? Oh, he spun on his quick lap, and that is... yeah, not good for him. Right, so... what about Dylan? Filling in. Rain is getting heavier. Jinx is retired in the pits. That says to me that the rain is not stopping. So there you go then. So this could well be the order, depending on how we get a lap time. It'd be interesting to see if people without these don't set a good time on softs, if they'll come in and actually set intermediates on. Where does Dylan go? You see already at 110, he's already seconds behind. And he's on 113.6, so P17. And I think the other three of, oh yeah, it doesn't look like, oh, his Mash has gone round again. He's not having a good time. Okay, Gorniak's invalidated again. There you go. Wow. That's turn up for the books. We haven't seen that in a while, have we? Okay, Gorniak. He's already invalidated, so he's going to go and try go around again. Or is he stopping? I think he needs to get back to the pits and get set intermediates on. I mean, he won't go any higher than 18th, but maybe he'll. As Zeke comes out, what's he going to do? Is he going to try on the softs? He's going to be very optimistic if he does. Once the camera lets me change. Yep, he's gone out on the softs on a wet track when others are going out on intermediates. So that's certainly not advisable. Firmsy, who snuck himself into P3, is looks like he's going to go get some wet practice. So it looks like that is going to be your grid. So Ogween will take pole, Aiden will get P2, Firmsy P3 at the moment, Turner P4, Blonde P5 and Dan P6. So yeah, look at that. Oh. Firmsy goes straight on. What is Firmsy doing? Is he warming the tyres up? Looks like we might get everyone Apologies for the silence there. I was just not a lot to say, but it looks like might get an earlier start to the race. Who knows? But we've still got quite a lot of people not doing it. Got Evo out on track. Anyone else? Just Vision doing his. Maybe Vision's getting the bottle out of the way right now rather than doing it in the race. Who knows? Right, just 2 drivers left to retire. Or are we going to sit here for the next 4 minutes? Looks like Vision wants to go on the track backwards still and be hilarious. Right, there we go then. Qualifying is over. Ogween will be on pole for the race with Adam joining him on the front row. On row 2 we've got Fermsey and Turner. Looking good for the Mercedes straight away. Blonde making his way for McLaren is in P5. Joining him on the 3rd row will be Dan in the Williams. Then we've got Jinx and Proevo in P7 and P8. Rounding up the top 10 on row 5 will be Benser and Matt Bedge. Then, of course, the bottom 10, we've got Zach, Krigmit, Visions, Jake, Adam, RKA, Dylan, and then we've got Keg Gorniak, Zeke, and Mash not setting a time. Let's see when our Lord and Saviour Jake says we're going. Right then, someone's read up, and we're about to go. The 5 red lights are there, and they are out, and it's away we go at Canada. Looks like a decent start for most people. That's AlphaTauri in the wall at the start. Looks like a clean start for the front runners. Ogween still hanging on to P1, Vaden in P2. Looks like there's not a lot. Look at that, the P4. Everyone from P1 to P16 is as you were. We've got a penalty for collisions. What is going on here? Right, there we go. There's a few. There we go. Right, so yeah, Dan's made up 1. Blonde's overtaken. Blonde, Jinx still P7. Benson's made up a place. Big loser is Matt Veg, who's gone from P10 down to P18. We've got a first yellow flag. Looks like Mash is having a bit of a nightmare. Jake, once again, having another nightmare. Jake is really not having a good time at the moment, is he? Back at the front, top 4, as you were. Ogween leads the way. All drivers all still within that second as we stand. It's going to be... so we've already talked about, obviously, overtaking opportunities here. There are 3 DRS zones. You know, turn 1, turn 8 and turn 13 coming up now is the kind of 3 overtaking spots. Of course, right here on your right hand side, the Wall of Champions. Will anyone be in that wall tonight? We've got a couple of early pitters. We've got Zach and Matt Veg both in the pit. I imagine Jake will come in. No, has Jake not got damage? Amazing, he must have just had a spin. But there you go, Matt and Zach in the pit for a new nose. But Ogween, look at that, he's racing away. He's opened the gap to a second already. So Ogween looking like he's got some pace on his return to the grid. Let's have a look at the tyres, shall we? Everyone's starting on the hards, apart from well, the guys at the back. I'm pretty surprised about that. I thought this race would be a 2-stop strategy, given how kind of short the pit lane is. Which shows you what I know, as it looks like Benster and Evo are swapping positions. Evo looking to get ahead of Benster and take that P8 back. He does for now, so Benster's struggling early doors on those hard tyres. Benster look to get it back. And that Jinx already with a 3-second penalty. Fantastic work from the Red Bull man there. And with everyone on hard tyres, this, I guess it's depending on, this could be a game of chicken now, couldn't it? We can see Ogween deploying that battery, getting out of that DRS zone. It is now active. Turner has fallen outside the DRS zone of Fernsey. We've got a front we haven't really got a train at the front, have we? Because Ogween's on his own. Aiden and Fernsey are battling for P2. Turner is settling in for P4 as it stands, and now we've got obviously the train behind Turner. Dan, Blonde, Jinx, Evo, Benzo, Krigmit just over the second now. But it's very close. Dylan, RKA all in that battle for P5 and P4 even. Visions has fallen off by 2 seconds. That practice in qualifying has done him a world of good. As it looks like he's going to go overturn Baker again. It's got to be tight going into here, but looks like Visions is smart enough to yield, because 2 into that, even though it's an opportunity to overtake, you've got to be ahead of the car, otherwise an accident will be inevitable. Good to see Adam not having to pit after his little tap of the wall at the start. But it does mean AlphaTauri right down there, out the points in P14 and 15. They are of course second bottom, 3 points at a Ferrari. And if Evo stays where he is, they will be joint P9. Can Ferrari move off the bottom of Tier 1 standings for the first time since we started this team principal stuff over a season and a half ago? He looks like he's going to come under attack from Jake, but I guess the action is focusing is here now. Will Fernsey have a look into turn 13? No. But when you have a look at the turn one, it is very tricky to overtake here, despite the 3 DRS zones. But here comes Firmsy, he fakes and goes to the inside. Can they both keep it clean? They do. They're going to go side by side around turn 1, 2, and it looks like Aiden is just holding on. But Firmsy's got great traction around the outside. Currently holds that P2, and he does. Firmsy moves up into P2. What racing from these two, and ultimately a great move from Firmsy to put himself up into P2 of this race. Now, does he have the pace to catch and possibly even pass Ogween? We shall see. And that little battle was enabled Turner to now get within DRS. So that is good news for the Mercedes team, and everyone else still just about hanging on. Jinx has fallen outside of the second. He won't be enjoying that. And Evo, already seen him overtake Benster. Can he do anything about Jinx? Jinx deploying that battery. How close will Evo get to the back? Not close enough into the chicane. Or right into turn 1. Was that a little tap on the wall from Jinx? Quite possibly. As, hang on, down on the back of the grid, Jake does get past Zeke. And Jake finds himself now up into P16. Right, Ogween then, his gap is up to 2 seconds now, so it looks like he could well be in control of this race. But we'll keep an eye on that gap to see if it does come down at all. Aiden, oh, the pain, not giving up, but he gets out of shape there, doesn't he? Now he's going to come under attack from Will into turn 8. Got a yellow flag. It looks like it's the Aston Martin of MASH. Another bit of movement. He's recovered. And what's happened here? It's Dylan. Oh, Dylan. Well, that's one way to cause your team and yourself some damage. And now we've got both Alpines running down in P17 and P19. Shame for them, because Zach's actually currently P6 in the standings, and they are, well, the P6 in the Tier 1 standings. Fourth and goodbye, then there you go. Evo, he's got past Jinx. Has Jinx got some kind of damage, maybe? Evo looking very racing in that Ferrari, and that means that he will now lift Ferrari off the bottom of the Tier 1 Championship. But of course, we've still got a long way to go. Poe will hate me for saying it. But can Evo, can he make any moves on Blonde? He's 2.5 seconds behind. Rick Mick going well. A race by himself, as is RKA. Visions has just overtaken he's overtaken going out back for that P12. Gap at the front is still, well, actually, you'd have to say that Ogween is definitely the faster of the two as it stands. Fastest lap, yeah, I mean, even his fastest lap is a couple of attempts faster, so Firmsy needs to find a bit more pace if he wants to trouble Ogween at the front, but he has to, at the moment, he has to look behind him. If Aiden's going to try and take back that P2 into turn 1, he does. Oh, supreme fighting again from these two. This time it's Aiden at the outside line. Will he get the better traction? Or will it be Firmsy? No, Aiden's got it. So Aiden back up into P2 then. Great move from the Red Bull driver. Looking to get himself back up into the places. And now Bez has got past Jinx. Oh, and Jinx is in the wall. Bit of an odd place to have. Oh no, it's quite easy to spin now. I was about to say an odd place to have a spin. But around this track, you can pretty much crap anywhere. So then, the battle for P2 hots up. Dan has fallen outside of the DRS train now. But it's now a question, I guess, now as P2 has... Is he Ghost? Firmsy will now look to close in on Aiden. He's also trying to defend off turn at the same time. Got a lift there, making sure he doesn't get too close. Now, to turn 1 has been the favourite overtaking place so far, but is Firmsy close enough? He's not close enough this time, is he? Didn't quite get the traction he wanted out of there, did he? And just like that, Dan's back in the DRS zone. He has got himself a 3-second penalty, so that's not good. Jinx did get damaged though. Finds himself down in... Well, he's going to come out very much down the field. Of course, his replacement currently finds himself in P7. And we got a spin. Oh my goodness, there's been an accident. Oh no. It's going to be between Firmsy and Aiden. Aiden doesn't look like he's got damage, but Firmsy does not have a front wing. That is not ideal for the Haas. Oh dearie me, what happened there? Judging by the lack of front wing, it looks like Firmsy was the one that went into the back of Aiden, but obviously something happened off our screens. Aiden now finds himself in P8 behind Benson. When he go for a move in turn 13, I think he is, you know. And it looks like he's got enough overspeed to... he does, as Firmsy goes into the pits, and Evo now finds himself in P5. Which means we now have got a Mercedes 1-2 up front. But Dan, who has been on the tail of Turner most of this race, finds himself on the podium now. And Blonde, who had a decent debut last week before retiring, finds himself in P4. Much better so far. And then just like that, Visions finds himself in P10. 11 seconds off RKA. But, doesn't matter as long as he gets a point, because that point could, well, if Evo somehow messes up, that point could mean a lot to keep it off the bottom for AlphaTauri. And Jake sniffing there as well. Of course, Jake, of course, who was plumb last at the start after a little spinneroonie, finds himself in P12 now, sniffing that point. Question is now, will Spencer have a look? Evo with another penalty, so I think that's 6 seconds for Evo now. Will Spencer have a look? No, I think he's quite content sitting behind Aiden. As Firmsy comes out, P13. As here we go, we got Adam and Zeke, and a little battle. And a P14, Zeke wins out this particular time. Ogwe now stretching that lead to almost 6 seconds at the front. He's got to be careful to not get penalties. That looked very close to the edge, didn't it? As it did there for Turner as well. And a track that's very easy to get track extension warnings. Get the feeling that Dan doesn't quite have the pace to overtake Turner, but I think he'll be more than happy to keep in that DRS, as Keg Giorniak has now got past Visions again. I think Visions may well have made a mistake. He's got to be careful there. Oh, he's got to be careful. He's got to be really careful. So late on the brakes, he was almost pushing him around the corner. I thought there could have been contact there, and they've now got Firms in the back, and Jake's, I think, let him go. Aiden in the pits now. Yes, new nose, there you go. So Aiden wasn't going as fast as he could do. He's replaced his nose now. But that's going to put him behind these guys. Oh, there go Visions and Keg going at it again. Firmsy's going to be wanting to take advantage of any laps, and there you go. Superior traction on those fresh and medium tyres. Firmsy finds himself back in the points now. Oh, quick can he overtake Giorniak? Just look at the speed difference between these two. When he go move rubber, he does. Almost candy from a baby like. And the question is now, can Giorniak stay in the DRS zone? If he can, I mean, you'd be a better man saying that Firmsy could definitely catch the cars ahead. So if Giorniak can somehow keep up with Firmsy, bring other cars with him, will certainly be ideal for more points fighting down the line. As the field's starting to stretch out from P1 to P10. An RKA just about a second behind there. Turner's still holding on to P2. You know, Blond's got a bit of pace. You have to wonder if Blond could get past Dan. Could he trouble Turner? We've got another yellow flag. Is that Mash again? It is. He's not having a very good night, is he? As he takes the wooden spoon off Dylan. Jinx finds himself down in P18. But he's got to be careful here. Oh, he's turned in. Oh, dear. That wasn't great. But they live to fight another day. Where else are we going? So that's both very... Oh, and Mash is gone. Mash is gone. No, he's retired in the pit. So, damn it. I thought there might be a safety car because that certainly would have put the cat amongst the pigeons. But, it wasn't to be. And look at that. 2.5 seconds. Wow. That is some speed from Firmsy. 2.5 seconds in about a lap. That is absolutely crazy. Wow. Okay, no chance there, did he? But yeah, the fight for the final point goes on. It's been Kegorniak, Visions, and Jake. Jake is going to be careful. He's outside that second now. He will get a second bite of the DRS cherry, because that's how it works in Canada. As Visions once again goes for a P10, and he does overtake Kegorniak, but those two not giving up. Who's going to get superior traction? It looks like Kegorniak. He does. I think Vision looks like he backed out there, which is a bit odd, but they'll take it. And we've got about a three-way car battle going on here between Zeke, Zach, and Matt Veg. Possibly one to keep an eye on, as Ogween at the front stretches lead to 7.5 seconds now, pacing it. It's not a bad thing, really, for the Mercedes team to be that far apart. It means with that gap they can pit on the same lap if they wanted to, and there wouldn't be any kind of penalty. The one thing this Covasters has fixed. We've got another yellow flag, and who is it this time? Not too sure, but we have the safety car out. It's Zeke. Zeke's crashed somewhere. Oh no, that is an easy place to lose a car. And so, how many cars will pit? We're not halfway. We're very close to halfway. And I don't think these mediums can go. But there you go. Look, people have jumped in the pits. What's Firmsy going to go on? Will he put on another set of mediums? He does. And I guess all the others will put mediums on. But, fortunately for the two, everyone up front, the leaders, they're not behind the safety cars, so they can still go to that kind of delta speed. Will everyone pit now? This has certainly created an interesting dynamics. I don't know if these mediums can last 20 laps. I mean, they probably will. I mean, if everyone's going to do it, they probably will. As Dylan has put on a set of used hards. Not too sure what kind of strategy that is, but in Dylan we trust. There we go, the leaders into the pits then. Mediums for Ogween. What about Turner? Mediums it is. I think mediums is the order of the day from everyone. Blonde, mediums. Oh, he's very close to overtaking Turner there, wasn't he? Does that mean... And look at that, Dan's got out in P2 then. In the kerfuffle that was the pits, Dan has found himself in P2. Interesting. So now... So now we've got everyone on fresh mediums. At the start of the race, everyone was on hards, and now everyone's on mediums. So yeah, there you go. And Firmsy's 35 seconds behind, but obviously he will more than easy enough be able to catch that up, which does create an interesting dynamic of Firmsy coming through the field. We saw he had enough pace to be near the front. Not quite on the Ogween pace, but either way. And Jake has, well, I don't know what happened to Visions. He must have got caught in the pits. But yeah, he is So yeah, Jake finds himself now the one battling with Kedorniak for that P10. And just like that, the people who were at the back at the start, so Zach is now finding himself in the mix. Same with Matt Veg. Both Red Bulls still outside the pits, but you know how fast those two guys are. Evo still finds himself in P5, but he's got a lot of penalties. So Evo really needs to... wait, the safety car's probably bad for him because the safety car is now bunched back up and he's got to work hard to get that gap back up. Because all these drivers behind him do not yet have a penalty. It may well do, because it is Canada after all. But if they don't, he's got a lot of time to make up on the other cars. Cricketbet finds himself in P7. He's going well tonight. So he's not been very lucky so far in Tier 1. After his stellar performances in Tier 2. But yeah, good to see him up there in the top 10. So, safety car is going to do another lap, which is probably good news for the guys at the back, Adam and Dylan. Dylan stayed on those hard tyres. I'm surprised that Dylan hasn't come back in, but probably a bit late now. I mean, he may not have fresh mediums either. Well, he should do, actually, if he started on the hards. And his hards probably won't go to the end either. So we could see kind of a... If we get another safety car, we could well see people jump in and go for the softs. But who knows? It's anybody's guess at this point. Right, safety car is in this lap. Let's see. Back to manage to catch up. Let's see. Everyone weaving, getting their tyres warmed up. I'm not too sure how effective that is in this game, because it is Codemasters at the end of the day. And bit of shuffling at the back. Right, when will Ogween go? The safety car is in the pits now, so he can go any time he wants. Obviously, I don't think it'll be wise to do it now. He'll probably wait. There you go, off he goes. He doesn't keep Dan napping, I think he does, and Dan's going to come under pressure from turn to turn 1. Is he going to keep it? No, Turner does up the inside, and there you go. The Merc has got back to a 1-2. Dan is caught napping at the start of the safety car. And we've got Mercedes 1-2 again, as you were. Everyone looks like they're behaving and keeping out of the wall so far on the restart. Even Dylan on his hard tyres. But here we go then. Can Ogween build that lead back up? Or can Turner do enough to stay in the DRS? If he does, he'll bring the whole field with him. So it looks like Ogween. He's not burning the DRS just yet, is he? He's still got quite a lot going for him. As RK and Kribmet have a bit of battle. As always a freeway. Oh dear me, it's going to go 3 wide. This is not wide. This is going to end in tears if they keep going. But it looks like RK has just got the head, and now Firms is going to go up the inside. Is it going to? Look at that. What was I worried about? Supreme driving from those 3 there, as Kribmet goes from P7 to P9. Firmsy up into P8. RKA finally ahead of Kribmet after following them earlier in the race. And good news for Firmsy, who will want to close in on the guys ahead. He does also have that penalty hanging over his head. Everyone else single file at the moment. Adam has dropped off already. We know he's having problems with his wrists, so he's had to lower the force speed back, which is obviously affecting his pace somewhat. And there you go, Ogween has put within the lap, he's gone from being half a second to a second ahead of his teammate. And considering Turner is leading the driver standings, you think Ogween might be a bit nice to see Turner win well, Turner, he's already won 3 races this year, Turner. Is Turner satisfied with P2? Like I said, he's 3 points ahead of Firmsy. So I guess as long as he stays ahead of Firmsy, that's a win. And DRS is now enabled then. Oh, hang on, there we go. Firm's up into P7 now. He's dispatched RKA. Firmly for now, and look at that. Maybe Ogween's listening to me, because Turner has suddenly found himself back in the DRS zone. I think Ogween may have enough speed to kind of stay ahead, but our team more is at play here. This could certainly get interesting. So yeah, they go all from P1 to P6, and even Firmsy within that second as well. Every car down to P15, they're all within a second of each other. Blonde is, oh no, Blonde's left the session. Oh, what a time to leave the session. Oh dear me, these EA servers, Cody servers are magnificent, aren't they? That does promote Evo off into P4. Riding high in that Ferrari. Penster will pick up that P6 then, or P5 I should say now, and that'll be an easy P6 for Firmsy. Firmsy has dispatched a lot of those cars nice and early. They're fighting down the track. Vision's P13 now, and Aiden's got himself up into P10 now. He's overtaken Jake and Kay Gorniak. So we've got a Red Bull back in the points. Vision has fallen out of that 1 second. Jake's not making many moves, is he? He's having a poor start to the race, didn't he? And then found himself still down there in P15 in that DRS train. Back at the front then, Ogween's definitely, something's definitely wrong there. Not too sure what it could be, but Turner now finds himself on the back of his teammate. Evo just hanging on, but as you can see, he is now out. Oh, and Blonde's, oh yeah, sorry, he's disconnected, isn't he? I got excited for a second there. But that does promote Aiden up to P9, and Keg Gorniak will replace his teammate in the points, as Jake is the latest person to get a track extension penalty. As through the McLaren goes the McLaren. Evo, no, he didn't get DRS, so that was possibly vital Because Benson obviously not been on the pace tonight a lot, has he? He's still hanging on though in P5, but he does have a hungry Firmsy snapping at his tails. And as I say that, Firmsy looking for a way past the hairpin. Oh, and he gets all out of shape there, doesn't he? A bit too much curb coming out of the corner. And he'll have to wait another lap likely to have a go at Benster. To how keen is Benster on a move on Evo? As yeah, Turner's also got a 3-second penalty hanging over him, and Benster, hang on, look at that, Firms has gone up the inside of Benster. That didn't look on, but it happened. As a lot of these 3-second penalties are starting to come in now. These drivers get their third warning. Medium tyres are now hitting 8-9 laps old now. Can they go another 11-12? That is the question. As Jake finally gets past AI Oblong. Can he catch back up to Kate Dorniak? That is the question. Right. Firmsy. Let's serve him, shall he? He seems to be the one making the moves. He is now within that DRS of Evo. Oh, we've got another flag at the back. Is that Adam? Has Adam had an off? No, it's Zach. Oh dear, what's happened to Zach? He's, the Alpines really having a horrible race tonight, aren't they? And Zach is, after a few good results. Oh, hang on. And Aiden's gone ahead of RK8. So Aiden finds himself up at the P7 now. This is a great recovery drive from Aiden. Determined to put things right after his little coming together with Firmsy earlier. And Firmsy is indeed past Evo. So the question is now, can Firmsy catch and overtake Dan? Obviously, we saw Firmsy have more speed than Dan, but Dan is now in the DRS train of the two Mercedes up front. It would just see if Firmsy can indeed catch the guys up front, who's no one's DRS is looking particularly strong, is it? And it looks like Firmsy is getting the gap a little bit, hasn't he? But Blonde's AI still falling down the pack. Okay, we have a look at Aiden. No, he's too far away this lap. The two Mercedes are still leading. It's a good day so far. And Firmsy, it looks like the gap is to and fro, isn't it? It's not coming down fast. It's a tenth of a second so far. Can he break into the 1.8 behind? He's flirting with it, isn't he? And he is bringing Evo and Benson with him. Oh, look at that. I think, yeah, it's going to be tough for Firmsy to get back at these guys. His tyres are a lap older as well, so they're not going to. It's only one lap, but every lap counts when it comes to tyre freshness and going off the cliff. And these guys will want to get a lead just in case they need to pit for the softs. Because right now, with what, 9 laps to go, if they pitted, they would probably come out last. So right now, everyone is going to be wanting medium tyres to last. The question is, this is where you would want a safety car, because you get people gambling and you get people staying out. A bit like last week, when I believe it was Jinx who stayed out on those hards, wasn't it? Around Miami. To keep the cars behind. As Jinx and Visions and a little battle, and Jinx wins that one. And Matt Veg has got past Visions as well now, so Visions falling down the order once again. Oh, they're having a it may be for nothing, but these two are certainly going to try and enjoy themselves either way. you can see now, most of the field, I've got a 3-second penalty. Firmsy's brought the gap down now, isn't he? By about half a second in the last lap or two. So it looks like Firmsy does have the speed to catch up with these guys, which is definitely what we want to see. But Aiden now is 4.5 seconds behind. I think we'll keep an eye on that gap as well to see if Aiden can bring the gap down to Benster. And just like that, the gap's down again from Firmsy. He is in the mood now. I mean, obviously we didn't see the collision between himself and Aiden, but if he's driving possessed, then he may feel a penalty may be coming his way. But of course, that will be left for the stewards. Obviously, we didn't see it, like I said, so we'll leave that one. Benster looking very good here. I think Benster's definitely looking for a good position now. Benster, who hasn't been on the pace all night really, suddenly finds himself potentially in P2 with all the penalties ahead of him. And can you imagine if Ogwin gets a penalty as well? Benster can stay within 3 seconds of the leader, which not quite. He's about over a second behind the leader. Well, he's 4 seconds, so he would need 3 seconds, wouldn't he? So it's not quite, but yeah, it would still put him in P2 as it stands, wouldn't it? So it looks like this could be, I don't want to say it could be a procession to the end of the race. But unless Firmsy can make a move on Dan, then unless people make a mistake and hit the wall, which is very easily done. There's Zach and Adam continuing their battle. Dylan very much struggling on those hard tyres at the back. I think he desperately wants a safety car to get on a fresh set of softs. But we are running out of time for a safety car. As we do have a yellow flag. It's, who is it? Oh, it's Visions. He's bottled it again. He's not having a good time tonight, is he, Visions? The AlphaTauri team having a miserable night, aren't they? As, maybe even Dylan can catch him. I don't think he's got damage, Vision. As Cody's loves giving us these pointless views. It looks like he's okay. No missing end plates, which is always good. Nothing really happening at the back now, as Firmsy is well within that second now, and Evo has dropped back. So this is where Benster really needs to overtake Evo, because now Evo's fallen back. Benster may not get as high as he might want to. Gap to Aiden's 5 seconds now, so that gap is going up. It was 4.5, it's now 5. So it looks like the front 6 are secure from an attack on Aiden. Everyone else just sitting in now. Everyone looks like they've got like a different pace to each other in Canada. They're really close to the points. Oh, hello, and there we go. There it is. Firmsy and Dan having their battle. Dan's going to get the DRS, even though Firmsy's got the better out the corner. Dan, they both got DRS, haven't they? Are they going to go side by side into the wall, into the chicane? I think they are, you know. It's not 2 into 1. Don't go. Someone's going to hit the wall, but no! Wow! They both keep out the wall. They both keep it clean. And Evo gets another 3-second penalty to add to his woes. And there you go, Firmsy up into turn 1, does take P3, puts himself on the podium. Dan isn't going to give up though, but he does have to slot in behind the Haas. And all that battling has put them 2 seconds off the pace of the front 2. As Firmsy gets another time penalty as well. So, well, I'm not going to see who's got what, because that will possibly support the surprise at the end. But that looks all looking... Coming up clutch still for Benster, as Turner now gets another penalty. So then, wow, what's going on here? Oh, and Kegorniak, has he had a moment? I think he has, you know, because Jake's been promoted to P10. Our Lord and Saviour sitting pretty in P10. And he's got to be careful because he's got the jinx behind him. The tyres for everyone will now start to be moaning and complaining as Visions overtakes the AI. At the front then, RKA gets a time penalty. This is going to be interesting to see where everyone finishes. It's it's going to get juicy at the end with position swapping. Benson, but only one of 2 drivers yet to get a time penalty. Obviously, Bond won't get one because his AI is there. But Benson, the only person still running without a time penalty, and he's just about hanging on to the back of these guys, isn't he? And obviously not a favourite of Benster. But, Dan, there you go. Dan's fallen off a second. Off Firmsy, couldn't keep in that DRS, so will he come under attack from Evo? Just stay on board with Evo for now, because Evo may well lose the positions, but he will want to get as far ahead as possible. How close can he get to the back of Dan? It's not close enough here, but possibly if he can survive the Wall of Champions and get a good run, he may be able to attack him into turn 1, and that's exactly like it looks like he's going to do. And he does. Evo up into P4. He's having a great race so far, Evo, isn't he? Some good battles. He's kept, well, I'll say he's kept it clean. He's clean racing, but certainly not. He's not having kept it in the white lines tonight, has he? Doing very well though. And Fernsey looks like he doesn't quite have the pace to match, and Visions has retired in the pits. No, hang on, he's hit the Wall of Champions. But unfortunately, it's too late for a safety car. So, the DNF and Visions will not impact the race result here. As Dylan still on those tyres. Determined to finish the race on those old hards, isn't he? I do wonder now, will we see the team game come into play? We know Ogween's missed a few races and we know he's not in the championship fight as it stands. Will he let Turner through? Turner wins. Obviously Firms is in P3 at the moment. Ogween will know his teammate will want as many points as possible, and as that happens, we've got Matt Veg having a spin. It's not been a good day for Matt Veg, has it? And he even finds himself behind. You think, oh, and damn, another time penalty. This is going to get... Oh, and Zach's DNF'd. Oh, has he hit the Wall of Champions as well? Matt Veg, is he going to retire in the pits? Or is he going to go for fastest lap? Matt Veg may be going for fastest lap. Well then. So, we've got a lap and a bit left. Are we going to see the swap? Or is Turner going to let him keep the victory? Because don't forget, actually, that Turner does have this time penalty. So even if Ogween were to let Turner through, Turner's got to somehow build up about 6 seconds worth of time, and Firmsy certainly won't let that happen. They've got the same amount of time. But we have started the 35th and final lap. The tyres are still just about hanging on. Benzer, unfortunately, he may get on the podium, actually, depending on everyone's time penalty. So let's see how far Benzer will climb up the leaderboard. He's currently 6.5 seconds behind the leader. Right, let's focus on the 2 Mercedes up the front, because I think I don't think we're going to see team orders, although they have. It looks like they've put the pedal down, haven't they? There we go then. Ogween, though, fully deserving of the race victory. He's led from start to finish. Hasn't put a foot wrong, as Benster has overtaken Dan. But here we go then. Ogween does take the win. And Firmsy takes P2 off and Benson does get P2 in the end. I said he'd get a podium, didn't I? And there you go, he goes from P6, overtakes Dan, and now he's P2. And Turner is off the podium. Dan P5, Aiden finds himself in P6. And Jake finds himself in the points. That is I think that'll be a welcome sight for Jake. Getting himself in the points. But bit of a quiet race, wasn't it? But yeah, Ogween, a very rare lights the flag victory in league racing. Very well deserved win, a dominating win. Felt like after that safety car he had more in the tank. But it is Mercedes win. Not a 1-2 though. It's a 1-4. Let's now wait for the podium. There we go then. So there you go. Green takes a very well deserved victory. No one else could really get near him, could they? There's Firmsy in the podium as well. Benson P2. And then being, I don't think I'm sitting, and I've said it quite a few times already. It wasn't anywhere near pace-wise, but that is why you keep it in the white lines, because you could be nowhere, and all of a sudden you are P2. Right then, here is your race order for the Canadian Grand Prix. Ogween takes pole, fastest lap, and race victory. Benson is P2, and I'm just going to get race director really quickly. A lot of front wings, as you can see. Right, so yeah, there we go. Ogween, Benson and Firmsy on the podium. We've got Turner in P4 with Dan, Aiden, RK8, Cricket Evo, and Jake running out the top 10. And there is your bottom 10. I'm not having enough time to say it. So then, guys, I guess that will wrap up tonight's stream. I'd like to thank you, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. If you've made it this far, you are a bloody hero. If you've liked tonight, make sure you join us once again on Thursday, where Tier 2 will be around here. I'm sure there will likely be a few more safety cars. If you can't make Thursday, then please come back on next Tuesday as we head to Jeddah, which should be an interesting race. It always is. And so yeah, no words of wisdom from anyone, because it is just me. Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
How long did it stay? Gone for the big dive. Hamilton dives out of the way.
But no, Isaac is going to do it. He comes across the line to take P1 on his debut. What an amazing race. It's the battle of the late breakers, and Elite Risk gets it.
Oh, lovely move from Scotty.
Look, here we go then, around the outside. Oh, what a move by Elo. That is not a place you overtake.
Everybody was able to give us up without a good fight.
Dear me. Oh, and look at that. Pegorniak and Charlie going at it. Rampuon. In the last corner, who's going to get the better traction? Race on the better line. It's going to be a drag race to the finishing line.